two-pronged Bihar plan for PFI 2-point agenda included reaching masjids in interiors of the state to spread the alleged message and bid to provide physical education to train youngsters in martial art, use of swords, etc. According to sources, their main target was Mithilanchal and Seemanchal areas. The modus operandi was to get Maulana from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu to meet Maulana or imams of interior villages in Darbhanga, Motihari, etc. According to sources on the radar, there is a man called Roslan, who agencies believe had come from Tamil Nadu a day before the PM's visit. The meeting was held near the Patna airport and instructions given on the plan. All right, now we're joined by Arunima with more on this. Good morning to you, Arunima. Big developments coming in there from Bihar. We had the Mission 2047 module that was discovered, and now there is a WhatsApp group that is very worrisome called Ghazwa-e-Hind. And the inside scoop on this shocking plot is very alarming indeed.
Yes, the Bihar police and the agency is working on this field. That this was an attempt to bring what they're calling the South model of radicalization. Essentially, they're pointing out that if you've seen the situation in Kerala, where young Muslim boys and girls left Kerala and went to fight for ISIS in Afghanistan a few years ago. Then you saw Karnataka, where the hijab controversy and the other related controversies, attacks, communal attacks against RSS and allegedly by PFI members. All of that is being pointed out to say that there is a model of radicalization which the PFI has perfected down south. PFI, of course, has rejected the charge. They're even saying that the 2047 document that the police is relying on is fake. But the police feel that the plan was to take that south model to the interiors of Bihar, specifically two areas, Mithilanchal and Seemanchal, which is the Darbhanga area. It has a sizable Muslim population. And the assessment was that in these interior masjids, the PFI's attempt was to, through the Imam Council, that is one of the front organizations that agencies are naming, that through the Imam Council, attempt was made to influence the Friday decree that happens. Talk about issues like Nupur Sharma, agitate the people, get them to quote-unquote, subvert the system. That is the charge. Was there a terror angle, even though Ghazwatul-Hind's name is coming up and that name always, rings a bell as far as terrorism is concerned. At this point, where they're just using the name on a WhatsApp group, usually terror activities don't happen on an open platform like WhatsApp. They go into more encrypted platforms like Signal and Telegram. So that also is a matter of investigation as to how far this attempted radicalization had proceeded as far as terrorism is concerned. But the attempt of radicalization itself, police feels is good enough for them to crack down and prevent it at this stage.
Arunima, also PFI's name features prominently in this. We know that the two arrested in the Mission 2047 module, one of them said he's not part of PFI, he said he's part of SDPI, and the other accused says that he was a peripheral member of PFI. The fact that the police and the investigating officials feel that there is definitely, PFI's hand in this. What other incriminating details do they have, or is it just with the larger picture because of, the fact that PFI has been involved in some of these other terror plots allegedly, which have been discovered of late? Is that why, they're convinced that PFI has a hand in this?
See, membership of PFI itself is not a crime because PFI is not an outlawed organization. So just by saying that person A or person B was a member of Popular Front of India does not give police the right or the evidence to arrest that person or carry out criminal action. However, this is much more. What is being alleged is that these PFI members, and SDPI is the student wing of PFI as well, they have another front called the Campus Front of India, which again came to the fore when the hijab controversy was going on in Karnataka. So the charge is that these members were using their front organizations, the Imam Conference, the Campus Front of India, the Lawyers Collective, to radicalize Muslim population in Mithilanchal and in Simanchal. The charge is that this Sabzi Bagh premises that has seen raids being carried out. These premises was actually rented in the name of one of the accused wives. Farhad Bano is the signatory on the rent agreement. She's the wife of accused Jalaluddin. And she had claimed that she was renting this place to run an NGO for the sake of poor children. But the allegation is that actually what was happening there was trying to impart training, military training. And for this, what the police is alleging is that just ahead of the Prime Minister's visit, after a meeting took place at this premises, there was a second meeting which happened at Fulwari Sharif, an area which is very close to the Patna airport. We know that the airport itself is very susceptible. If the plan was to in any way subvert the Prime Minister's visit, was there a terror angle? That's a matter of investigation. But what they're saying is that this group definitely was on the path of radicalization. They wanted the people who are recruited, if they recruit 10 people and give them training for martial arts and sword fighting, they wanted those 10 to go back to their villages or to their localities and train at least one person trains 10 others. So this planning itself, as per the local police, is reason enough for them to carry out a crackdown. And you are seeing for the last 4 days now, repeated raids, repeated searches are going on to get to all people who are involved in this. And the one name which has come up is that of a preacher from South. So there is a possibility that Karnataka police, Tamil Nadu police, Kerala police could also be involved. They've already said enforcement directorate must step in. NIA so far has not really taken interest in this case, but we are waiting to see what more comes out, and if the center intervenes and hands it over to NIA.
All right, Arunma, thank you very much for that. But we are staying on what you said. The raids in several districts took place late last night as well in Bihar. Houses of those mentioned in Fulwari Sharif FIR were raided in Katihar, Darbhanga, Araria, Madhubani and Patna. We're joined by Saurabh with more on this. Saurabh, raids continue. This time around, late last night, houses of those mentioned in that Fulwari Sharif FIR. What more are we learning? What was recovered during these raids?
Shilpa, see, when the FIR was lodged, it was lodged with 26 persons' name mentioned in it, and more than 10 districts are mentioned in the FIR from where the people used to come and radicalize youth. Also, the trainings were given by these people who came from different districts from Bihar to Patna, and they used to give martial art trainings to the youth who came from not only from other parts of Bihar but also from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, other districts as well. So there were 26 names that were mentioned in the FIR. Now the police, they were focusing Patna because almost 10 of 26 names were from Patna. So till yesterday, Patna police was raiding Patna premises of those mentioned in the FIR, in which yesterday 2 people were picked up also from Sabji Bagh area, and after interrogation, because of the lack of evidence, police had to release them. But furthering the process of investigation, police have started searching locations other than Patna, and mostly the Simanchal area where Muslim populations are high, and many of them are from those areas mentioned in the FIR, such as Katihar, Araria, Darbhanga, Madhubani. These all areas are sensitive areas, and police have conducted raids late night yesterday, and they have not recovered anything yet because the official statement of police have not come, but the raids were conducted. That is what we are learning, and they are searching for those people who are mentioned in the FIR, and police have now speeded the process of investigation, because